research, create the drugs, manage the side effects. It's Pocket Pharma. Welcome back to the Board Game Closet. My name's Jimmy, and today I'm doing a Kickstarter preview of Pocket Pharma. You should be able to go online right now onto Kickstarter and see if this is something that you want to back. And today I'm going to do a preview of this game, kind of give you an overview of how to play it, my opinions, and then you get to go online to see if this is something that you want to back. Pocket Pharma is a pocket game. This is a small box game, and the cost is pretty reflective of that. So this could be something that you could take with you, throw it in your backpack, play it at lunch while you're waiting on the waiter or waitress to bring you your food. This is one of those types of games. It's not complicated, it's pretty simple, and it reflects the idea of being a pocket game. Now, how do you play Pocket Pharma? At the beginning of the game, every person is going to be dealt 3 fragment cards. They call these fragments. And these are cards that you're going to have to collect to match a formula to create a new drug. Now, this is a race game because each one of these drugs, if you were the first person to create a new psychiatric drug, then you're going to score 20 points or income or money, whatever these represent. You're going to get 20 points for that. The second person gets 17 all the way down to just 11. And so you definitely want to be the first person to do this because you're going to get paid more money. And so if you come over here and you get this cancer drug, 30, 25, and 20 points, or the cardiovascular drug, which I guess would be the easiest one, that's going to start at 15 and go down to 11. So how do you get these fragments? On your turn, you get to do one of 3 actions. So you're going to, at the beginning, you get these 3 cards, and these represent 3 drugs that you're trying to create. On your turn, 3 actions, and you can do any of these actions any order you want and do them multiple times. So the first thing that I could do is kind of Ticket to Ride style. There are cards down on the board. I could pick them up. And so I just choose one of these cards and I get them. The first card in the line is free. It doesn't cost anything. But if I want to get the second or the third card, if I skip any cards, basically, I'm going to have to pay a penalty for that. So let's say that I wanted this first one and I wanted this next one. I'm going to skip a card, so I would have to take a -1 to do that. And so once you draw a card, you have to place it into one of these 3 stacks and add that onto there. So I'll put that one there. I'll skip one, get a negative point, and now I've got another 1. What am I trying to do with these cards? I'm trying to match these formulas that are out here. So let's take the cardiovascular drug. It says that I need 2 pairs of numbers, so the large numbers that are on here, 2 pairs of those. And then I have to have 5 syringes, and that is the efficiency of the drug. So on the side of the cards that you take, they're going to have not only a number that represents the large number you're trying to compare, but then they're also going to tell you how efficient the drug is by the syringes, and then the side effects that you're trying to get. So you need to get the syringes, and you want to avoid the side effects that are listed on the card. So lots of things to consider, not lots of, 3 things to consider on every single card. What's the number? How efficient is it? And what kind of side effects is it going to give me? So let's say a round progresses and I get all the cards that I need to complete one of these drugs. You have to have at least 5 cards in a stack, and they have to match the requirements that are on the card. Specifically, you have to have at least the large numbers have to match. So I would need 2 pair and then 1 of any other kind. If I had that, then I could take this drug to clinical trials and see if it passes. For every syringe that I lack, so I could take this drug to clinical trials without having all the syringes. If I do that, then I'm going to lose points, right? So I'm going to get negative points because I don't have enough syringes. But then I also have to compare the side effects that are listed on the card. So for this cardiovascular drug, it says that I can only have 2 knee pains. But right here in this set of cards, I actually have 4. So for every side effect that I have that's over that amount, I have to discard some cards out of my hand. And so that's bad because now, right now, let's say I passed this clinical test, I got my 15 points, but I have no new cards in my lab. And so that's bad. It's going to set me back a little. And then the third thing that you could do, I didn't mention this, is that you can actually move cards around in a stack. So let's say that I had these 2 cards over here. I could take these 2 cards and move them to another stack. And those are the 3 actions that you do. That's all you can do on your turn. At the end of the round, new cards come out. and then someone else takes their turn, and it's that simple. You are going to go in a 2-player game until 2 of these stacks have been depleted. In a 3-player or a 4-player game, you're going to go until 3 of the stacks have been taken. So like I said, this definitely plays quickly. It's easy to understand. Probably the hardest part that most people have had an issue with is trying to remember what you lose with the syringes or the side effects. Do I lose points with the syringes, or do I lose cards? And so it's kind of confusing there, but once people understand, syringes lose you points, the more side effects you have lose you cards. And so once you understand that, then you're ready, set, and you get to go and play the game. And so all of this really are just maybe 2 decks of cards and then these smaller cards. This definitely fits in this box. It's all compact, and I don't know what the final size of the box is going to be, but it definitely feels pocket, and it's something that you could play. There's not an immense amount of theme in this game because really you're collecting numbers and watching symbols, but for a fast-paced kind of game where I'm just trying to compare and contrast things, it really does the job. And so if this sounds interesting to you, go online, check it out. It should be on Kickstarter right now.